So George has spent over 30 years leading in sales and executive roles with some of the biggest names like Bank of America, JP Morgan, and now he's built a leadership and mentoring platform all about turning vision into consistent effort. It's really, really great stuff. Follow Your Effort is the name of the new venture for George. But he's also you're deeply involved in community, from serving at on the Johns Hopkins All Children's
Yep.
Hospital Foundation Board, which is really amazing. You support local schools, athletics, your church. That's a big thing, and you're family man. Which, if you're a dad and you're married, that's leadership and management in and of itself.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I would say majority of my professional experience has come from being a father.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Time management, patience.
Oh, learning from your mistakes.
Failing forward, right? Exactly.
Exactly.
Which is huge in business and in life. You're born and raised in Tarpon Springs.
Born in Youngstown, Ohio.
Oh, Youngstown.
I
Okay.
lived in Tarpon Springs from first grade to 10th grade.
Okay, understood. So that's a lot of Florida stories. You don't really meet. And when I saw that, obviously I read it wrong. Google didn't do its job, but you don't hear of a lot of BNR from Florida. It's a modge podge of
Oh yeah.
people that travel, or myself included. Husband in 25 years?
Yep. Just celebrated 25 years, which I'm not gonna lie, that was like, it hit me after, like the day after, like, crap, dude, you did it.
It's huge.
But when you're looking at being married for 25 years, it's a completely different experience than being at the end of the 25 years.
Sure.
And it's been a great ride. So we signed up for another 25.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We signed
it's
the
good.
contract the
Yeah.
day after. We decided to re-up.
Father of 3.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Yep. Love my kids. They're good kids.
Right
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, they're good kids.
You know about leadership pretty much at every level. It sounds
Yes.
like, and then also you own True Blue title,
True Blue title.
right?
Yeah, near and dear
So
to my heart.
yeah, I'm excited that you're here. I'm excited that you came. I'm so excited you
I
said
am
yes.
too.
So let's start with True Blue title.
Yes.
What, for those that don't know, what is True Blue title?
So we are a title agency for residential and commercial purchase transactions, refinances, etc. So we're a title agency. True Blue kind of comes off of, so my brother-in-law Harold, he is a Tar Heel. So I'm a Pitt Panther, right? So there's the blue, plus I'm Greek. So, and he married a Greek. So it's like, we're going with blue. But really, I always loved, True Blue. Hey, that person's True Blue, And I remember learning the flags, red, white, and blue. Red for blood, white for purity, blue for loyalty. And I'm like, I like the loyalty,
Blue
That's
is
American
yeah,
part.
blue is the color of trust. So if you notice, if you look a lot of these major corporations, especially hospitals, they favor the color blue because
Yeah.
it is the color of trust. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great color.
Yeah, it's not bad.
There's other nice colors.
Yeah, there's a couple out there. It's not, it's one of the good ones. It's one of the good ones. Talk to me. So, I mean, you've spent decades in high-level corporate leadership. You didn't need to follow your effort, right? But why did you feel compelled to do so?
I did need to build it.
You had to.
I
Okay, well,
needed
so
to.
what is follow your effort? Let's start there.
It is an accumulation of experiences through the decades of my career. And it reared its head about 6 to 8 years ago. I can't remember.
But she's been cooking.
Yeah.
She's been cooking for a little bit.
Yes. And so I love sports. I was a sports journalist. I studied journalism and history at the University of Pittsburgh. And never got landed on a, permanent full-time writer position. Did a lot of stringing and correspondent work. When I was there, I got to cover the Pittsburgh Steelers for the Youngstown Vindicator, the Penguins. I used to get into the Pirates clubhouse post-game, and of course all the Pitt sports and stuff like that. It's the epitome of the human experience of working with a team to get to a common goal, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I coach sports. I coached soccer, for example. And, that word like, hey, good effort, like nice effort, nice effort. Effort is like, you just hear that as a kid growing up playing sports. It's all about effort. And so I always just had an affinity for that word. And as I got older, I started to realize like effort is like the genesis of everything.
Right.
Well,
true effort.
True effort. Well, just any effort. Nothing happens without effort.
Relationships can end because there wasn't enough effort, right?
Fair enough.
Right?
Nothing good
nothing
ever
good
came
ever
out
happens.
of
Right, sure. Okay, I agree. Agreed. Yeah. Yeah, you definitely need to give a crap and put in the time and put in the hours and put in the energy,
Yeah.
right? You have to.
Well, and what's cool as a coach is like the encouragement it gives the player. So, like I said, when a player's making they're in the action and hey, great effort, great effort. What is being said there is an applause of the effort, not the outcome. Because a lot of times I'm saying good effort, and they lost. They were unfortunate. It didn't go their way.
Right.
So, but it's the effort that's the beauty.
It's the acknowledgement of the positive actions taken regardless of outcome. Hey man, I recognize you. I see you. Way to go.
Yeah, because efforts was key. Again, it's friction, it's motion. It is. And I know this may sound corny, but like I guess you could almost say like the Big Bang was the effort. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like this caused this. That was a spark. So what also I've always heard, I'm sure you have, is that with like professional athletes, 80% mental, 20% physical.
Sure.
Right. Or success is all determined within the 6 inches from ear to ear.
In the gray. Yeah, the battle's won or lost in the gray. Yeah, for sure. I like that, and you're not wrong. If you've ever started anything, a band or joined a team or started a business, you immediately realize that, oh, this is, I have to clock in.
Yeah.
Right? Like I have to, and not for money. I have to clock in. I have to put forth the effort. I have to put in the hours, the time, the passion, the intention. You have to be intentional. And I see, a lot of friends that try to start businesses, or I'm sure you know people too that start businesses, and within the first 3 or 5 or maybe 6 years, they struggle, and some of them close up shop. They close it down. I don't want to say that's entirely because there was a lack of passion or effort, but I will say that from my experience, effort is the difference between the win and the loss.
It just seems to be that way.
It's the common denominator.
And I'm with you. Like, you don't want to admonish anyone for trying to do business. Lord knows I failed. I mean, one of my favorite sayings that I came up with is, if you're not failing, you're not trying.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
So, there's a myriad of reasons why people have moments of success in their life and moments, downward trends. This is life.
Sure.
If you just go to the beach and watch the waves, there's life for you, up and down. Look at the markets, up and down. This is the way it goes. But with that being said, probably if we had the ability to scientifically research, businesses, effort is definitely the key to success. Even to your point, if there is that lack of reaching a pinnacle, it might not even have been effort, because this is where follow your effort becomes like a truly holistic perspective.
Sure.
Your effort could have been there.
Right.
Your effort could have been there, but you might have lacked strategy. You might have lacked mission. You might have no longer knew why you even started this thing.
Sure.
But effort you're not wrong. It is the least common denominator to success.
Yeah. And again, you bring up an interesting point. Just because you have intention and effort doesn't guarantee success. In fact, nothing guarantees success. Even if you start with there was that saying that if, how do you make $2 million? You start with $1 million, right? Or, and I'm probably botching that. But even if you have capital and the resources and the right team, you could still fail. Mm-hmm. Right. And so you brought up some interesting things, strategy, right? Mm-hmm. Goals, mm-hmm. I like the follow part of your effort. What are you following? It's not just, to me, when I hear it, I don't just hear it as like follow up on the effort, right? It's that follow that effort to completion. Like, what was the goal? What is the goal? Rain or shine, thick or thin, don't keep your eye on the prize and follow through with that effort, right? What did you see that was missing? Why did you feel so compelled to do it? What did you see was missing in leadership?
Everything that I've learned, 90% of it has been by falling on my own face.
Sure.
When I looked at that position, what worked out really well, because it was an accumulation of a lot of good things that happened that created a great life experience that's still positively impacting people today.
I know we're talking about business, but even like I want to go back to being a dad. You know, I have two children, 7 and 4. George, they just hand you a baby. You know, you're in the hospital, you're 3 days. Now they're just like trying to get you out as soon as possible, and then they're just like, all right, well, see ya.
Right.
And like, despite the 9 months of book reading and all the Googling and, and the support, staff, family, friends, cousins, whatever, you have to submit to, I know nothing.
Amen.
I know nothing, and it's by the grace. It's by the grace of God.
Yeah.
Number one, but number two, it's like you have to look inside and go, "Shit, man, I'm not Superman. I'm supposed to be," because I feel these pressures as a husband, as a dad, as a protector and a provider, and all these things that men feel. And I'm not comparing it to women; they're going through their own thing. But I think that like again, as a leader, right, a leader of your household, it's going like, "Shit, I'm not that good at this."
Mm-hmm.
Or I have to get really good at this really quick,
Yes.
and really apply effort, right? Like you got to apply a lot of effort. A little bit of a tangent, but I think you get what I'm getting at.
Well, I will say this. The beauty of everything you just described is what shapes you and I as men, as adult men.
Sure.
And it's like a rite of passage. And quite frankly, like most things in life, you can't give away golden wisdom to young people.
No, it's
Right.
lost. It's lost on. It's wasted on them.
Right.
Sure. And it was wasted on me too. There were nuggets given to me that I was like, sure, whatever.
So why would it be different as a new father,
Totally get it.
right?
Yeah,
You know
for
what I
sure.
mean? And
Yeah.
and you and your wife, you guys have all your ideas of what, how things should be.
How it's going to be.
And
Yeah.
then reality happens the way it is, without any control by you.
Sure.
And you become a better person and a better leader and a trusted resource for your kids and all those things. And I go to my oldest son and I put my hand on his shoulder and I'm like, son, I know I owe you, kid.
Yeah.
I learned a lot about being a parent with you, and your little brother he had it so much easier.
Yeah, sure.
So don't worry, I'm going to hook you up.
Sure, yeah, for
There'll
sure.
be a little something extra in the will
Yeah,
for you.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, there'd be recognized for sure. Well, and that's so true because the first one, man, as a dad, I was so on edge. I was a poor leader. I was terrified. I was inexperienced, and then I didn't want to really show that. So now I'm faking it, right? So I'm like a total fraud.
100%.
Right? Just total
Yes.
fraud. And then, because in my head, I'm like, well, that's that at the time, you're like, well, that's strength. If I don't look weak, if I don't show that I'm scared,
Right.
then in the moments that my wife is maybe going through it and having her own moments, I could be the rock. But meanwhile, dude, I was like friggin' terrified, right? And so for the first kid, I think all first kids deserve every kind of medal because there was like, you're just on them about everything. And then baby 2 shows up and it's like, you've learned a lot.
Yeah.
And you're less neurotic, right? And you realize that, they're not so fragile, right? Like they can trip and fall and bang. And,
Yes.
there's that movie Parenthood where she makes the joke where, the first one you panic about everyone. The second one you let juggle knives.
Yes.
And it's true. It's like you become a little bit more relaxed, right? And so, but the cause effect of that is again,
someone had to bury the brunt of those nerves.
Kid number 1 took the punches.
Yeah.
Kid number 2,
reap the rewards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, tying that back into kind of, I guess, like, being a leader and owning your own business and having employees, it's like, I'm terrified to have employees for the marketing company. I do use subcontractors and freelancers on an as needed, and they're great. But to have actual employees, I know that I'm hindering my own growth in the agency because I don't want to be a boss. Because when I was a boss, I wasn't a great boss. I wasn't fair, and I'm not blaming that on any one particular boss that I had. But when I came up, I had really interesting bosses. I had really great ones for a period of time. I had really smart ones for a period of time, but that weren't maybe the best at like the day-to-day kind of leadership stuff. And so for me, it's like, oh man, like it's such a massive responsibility. It's not just money. It's not just compensation. It's like true leadership actually terrifies me.
Yeah, especially if you have a misconception of what that's supposed to look like.
Right.
I've played all the roles: the great boss, the awesome boss, the stupid boss, the bad boss, right? Like
Sure.
you go, the good news is like for the first child, you can grow. And I will tell you that I've grown more from my poor performances. And everyone will tell you this.
Sure.
This is what every coach says,
Yeah.
right? Like we learn more from a loss than we do from a victory.
Sure.
Like, just like you are going to be a great dad in the future for even the oldest.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know what? Also, I'm a great dad today to him. It's just education, it's enlightenment, it's information. The type of leader you are is going to be based on who you are. And a lot of us don't even know who we are.
The audit. You have to audit.
You have
to be honest.
And you have to have some help.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah. Listen, if anybody has a wife, listen, they love the opportunity to give us some free help.
I mean, one of the biggest things that kicked me in the butt that really, really forced me to really get introspective was an older cousin who's kind of like the now acting patriarch at an event, a social event, like pulled me aside and like just like ripped me a riot act. Like, what the hell, like about like challenging my choices and lifestyle and just in behavior and everything. And, most people are afraid to do that, but I was so happy he gut checked me into the boards because I was like, after I'm like, oh crap, man.
Yeah,
like,
he's right.
He's right. And we're family and family name means everything to us.
Sure.
So you can't be talking out of one side of your mouth and doing this. And it was just a great wake up call to be like, hey, snap out of it, kid.
Yeah.
Your lifestyle is unproductive right now.
Sure.
Because you don't have a compass, you don't have a map, you don't know what you're doing, why you're doing anything.
Sure.
So that's part of that introspective that I was going through for myself with the business, with life. Like about 3-4 years ago is when I really started delving into emotional intelligence.
Sure.
Right? Because follow your effort as a playbook.
Sure.
Okay, as a playbook, it was really a back to the basics movement for me when I realized like I'm lost. And so I started to delve into emotional intelligence. And that's what finally was like, oh, I got something.
Yeah.
And as you know, I've been working on this for over a year and now we're ready to go.
Yeah.
I got a great education director with me, Melissa Granis,
Super
who's
great.
a collaborator. She gets me, she supports me. And she's extremely talented herself. And yeah, we got together, we could put together a great program that I'm really proud of. We're all very proud of.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's really, really cool stuff. And I, you see online, there's definitely a need for this. And how you know that is that there's a lot of different types of, not follow your efforts, but there's a lot of these coaching. You want to be a better public speaker.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be a better dad. You want to be pick your topic. There's a lot of these people that have become these subject matter experts that are now sharing that knowledge, right? And doing programs. And it's really great to see because I think, again, it goes back to the introspective part of it is that when you realize that you're really great at this and not so great at that, it does separate the boys from the men, right? Or, the adults from the children, I'll say, because women go through this, have their moments too, right?
Or just the enjoyment of your life.
That's huge.
Just your overall enjoyment of life.
Yeah.
Because you're living a truth.
Why are we here?
You
Right.
invested the time. You have a reason. You have a purpose. You're aware of strategy, and you're constantly growing in awareness of others.
Yeah.
It's powerful, man. Emotional I love it. I'm so happy that, because like I said, it was the missing piece for me. Effort is the synapse of when mind, body, and soul all get in sync. Exactly.
They intertwine.
And then the effort you follow.
Sure.
And I guess my point is this is about enjoying life.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Sure.
Money, as much as I chased it, and I sure as hell did.
Right.
Now at my age, I'm like, what a waste of time and effort and energy.
I
was looking at the world the wrong way.
A lot of missed opportunity.
Yeah. But being happy,
Yeah.
the money's there because you're happy.
Right.
And you're doing what you love.
Right. Yeah.
So don't worry about the money.
Money isn't the most important thing, but that's a really easy thing to say when you have some. Now when you get to the point where you have the money,
yes,
it doesn't solve what's happening in here and what's in here.
I appreciate you setting up that plateau.
You know what I'm saying? Just to say, just to keep it fair.
There's a time and place where everyone has to beg, borrow, steal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have.
Me too. Me
Yeah,
too.
we have to.
And
Yeah.
I guess that at the end of the day, and we were programmed. I was anyway. I was born in the '70s, and you were born in the '80s, so you were programmed this way too. Is that greed is good? Money's like the numero uno way of
Yeah.
viewing worth, et cetera, et
Yeah,
cetera.
value.
That's blasé now. Like people know that's empty. You can easily search this and find this, but um, there is a very large percentage of executive level professionals. They lost their soul. They basically just go. I don't even know bankrupt so much as they just go through massive depression.
They're emotionally and spiritually broke.
They're broke, and
Right.
they're lost.
Yeah.
And I felt that way.
Sure.
I felt that way after when I finished one jam session.
Sure.
And I realized like this is real, man. Like you get so lost in chasing the dollar.
Yeah.
I don't even know who the hell I am anymore.
Right.
Like what am I? Who am I? What
am
the hell
I?
was I even doing?
Yeah. As scary as it is to bet on yourself, jump out into the great unknown, right? The freedom of like, oh, I can pick up my kids every day, or I can have breakfast with them every morning, or dinner as a family every night. Those wins, none of them were monetary. It was life. It was the life I wanted. It was the life. It was the life I wanted with my children. It was the life I wanted with my wife.
Well, there's a lot of value to that.
There's
though.
a shit ton of, dude. I would say that's it. Now, again, different for everybody, but for me, that was worth its weight in gold. And what I love
It's
about
a
something,
luxury. Yeah.
well, but what I love about something else you said is when I stopped worrying about the dollar found me.
It's so hard to have that faith and believe in that.
Look, praise God, right?
Yeah.
And I am a man. I do come from faith.
No,
we all do.
Yeah.
You have to believe in something, because I didn't do it by myself. I couldn't have done it without my wife. I couldn't have done it without my family. I couldn't have done it without the people that hired me and trained me before, and my mentors and the people that bet on me. Like I couldn't. There were so many things that had to happen. But then for me, I had to make the decision that, hey, yes, I can do this, and I can do it for me, and it couldn't be about money. It had to be about life. My goal was live a life.
I think one of the things that made me really successful in everything I've ever done was I was fortunate that I wanted to be a journalist, so I studied journalism, I studied history.
Sure.
Okay. And the best things I took out of that were so many things. But the two things that really stick with me, and I pass it on to everyone, is number one, don't believe anything you hear.
Sure.
And only half of what you see.
Yeah.
Which is never truer than today.
Right.
So I don't even care if I saw like the second coming come from heaven. I'm like, nah, that's psyops.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I still, you can get the point.
Check my resources.
Right. But the best one is who, what, where, when, why, and how.
Right.
Who, what, where, when, why, and how. We got to ask those questions. The more you ask those questions about everything, the more opportunity you're going to get to grow.
Right.
Okay. And so
always be learning.
Right. Always be learning.
Always be learning.
But we did not come from that sort of upbringing, nor work leadership. Work leadership, and this is with this young man. So I coached him right out of college.
Sure.
To help him get his first job. He got a good job. He got what he wanted. Now, it's almost 2 years later. It's time to move on. So I'm coaching him for his next position, right?
Sure.
And you were talking about meeting them where they're at, and you were talking about the ability to give how do you give knowledge, wisdom away? All I know I can do, and this is what I'm putting in practice with him, and I try to put in practice with my kids, is plant the seeds for them to think about something in the future, about what they want to be, where do they want to be. Okay, what do you want your life to look like? What do you seriously, just ponder on it. I don't need an answer right now.
Sure.
I mean, that answer is going to change, by the way, every month.
Sure.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, we'll
but
check
just
it
a
in 90
general
days,
idea, do you want to be,
Yeah.
Do you want, and these are mostly salespeople, right? I
Sure.
consult with salespeople.
Right.
And, he's like, I don't know. I'm like, well, do you want to be at the country club at 3:50 every day, taking your clients out, for a round to go home to, and have a nice 6-figure salary, or do you want to be in a phone center, what do you want to do?
What does it look like?
What does it
Yeah.
look like in your mind? And it just, so now I'm just trying to get their motor running to understand that there's a whole nother vision out there that
Right.
they can't even contemplate. The only way they're going to contemplate is with me giving them those scenarios and building them up.
Look, we do this because there's a part of us, we're in two very different businesses, but like there's a passion there. And as soon as it becomes like a thorn in my side or too much of a burden. Now, again, some days are going to be cloudy. I have no illusions about, owning a business. Some months are friggin' awesome. Some months are like shit, and it's going to be stressful. But as soon as it becomes like, why are we doing this? I'm in the wrong business. And so I specifically chose this business because I do love it.
Yeah.
And I do love strategy. And I do like marketing.
A lot of people, though, also like ourselves, maybe in smaller numbers or larger numbers, we just have a deeper desire to be connected more to something. We really want to have that. I mean, clearly you're a musician. I love my artistic side and expanding on it because it's that creativity.
Yeah.
I love living outside the box. And for people like us, and we're looking for purpose.
Yeah.
That's what I love about this, where I've taken my career now to getting into the coaching, to creating the Follow Your Effort program, to helping people do their emotional equivalence, testing, and kind of just give an intro, because this is why I'm so happy, is I get to talk about this stuff now, and I get to do this.
You're excited about it.
And I'm excited because I know it's real. I know it's beneficial, and that's what you're doing, as well with your company. And is it really work? Yes, it is work in that it carries the stress of bringing in a paycheck. Yes, it is work in that you have the priorities that you got to go out and knock on doors and get business in. Yes, there is. Yeah, all that's real stress. But is it stressful that your wife is a partner in on this and you get to do what you love the most?
Right.
Probably not.
Well, no, I mean, yeah. Everything carries its stress. The biggest thing I love about what I do is that, you mentioned out of the box, right? I love living outside the box.
Yeah.
What you're doing carries lifelong value. Case in point, let's say you sell a widget, right? Let's say let's say you're George Foreman and you're the George Foreman grill, which you would be lucky if that was the case, right? But
Yeah.
Well, once you sell one, you sold one, right? And once you have one, which we all did.
Yes.
Some people might still have one.
Yeah.
But eventually you don't. Do you use yours anymore?
No,
Nobody does. But with Follow Your Effort, with the coaching, with the mentoring, that's forever, and it carries over. It's not just career focused, and we kind of touched on this when we started. It's like better dad, better husband, better coach, little league coach, better all around person, and. I don't know, man. I just think I think what you're up to, man. I stand behind it, and I stand behind a lot of my clients. I treat it like it's my business too. Like, what would I do?
Mhm.
As long as, of course, it aligns with the vision of the goal, right? But because you're an idea man,
Mhm.
and I'm sure you've had way more. I'm sure you've had 100 ideas.
Of course.
Okay, so while maybe you didn't pursue every single one, and I'm not projecting at all that this is going to fail, but a lot of big ideas do. Why do you think so many visions fail? Or die before they even become a thing? What do you think that is? Loaded, but
Well, no, I think that through my own personal experience and right now I'm working with someone who's become a friend, and his wife own an insurance company. They're basically relaunching it, revamping it, whatever you want to. They're
going
basically
through like a rebrand.
Yeah, without going into a lot of detail, they're
Sure.
basically starting from scratch.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's
Yep.
just say
Sometimes you gotta
it's a
start over.
restart, right?
Yeah, Control Delete. Sometimes you got to start over.
And this holds true. You have a great idea. Why the hell do you even want to do this? Why? That's the first thing you really want to. Are you really married to this because like you think it's like why? Like go deeper into it. Do you want to do this because it's something you really love and you want to be around 24/7? Or is it just a good idea that you think if I can get it on as seen for TV, I'll get that, that's fine too.
Right.
Right.
Or do you just love the idea of it?
Do you love the idea of it?
Sure.
And then bingo there, and then the most that on that pivot right there, the biggest thing that's cursed me and everyone else is not doing enough investigation and challenging yourself not to do it on all the reasons why you shouldn't do it. Because I'll tell you right now, anyone who came up to me and said, George, hey, I know we don't barely know each other, but I'm thinking about starting a business, and I just wanted to pick your brain on it. Can I buy you coffee? I'm going to say, yeah, you are too. Even if someone could, I'm doing my own digital marketing.
I've done it
Right.
5 times
Right.
in the last 2 months.
And I've been so excited, and my idea is so brilliant. I'm so, clearly
God's gift to the best
right.
idea ever.
The last thing I'm going to do is talk to anybody else about my idea.
Sure. Yeah.
Take your time, be patient, have a clear strategy and mission. Strategy is different than plan, right? You got to have a plan, but what's your strategy? For example, like Enterprise car rental, largest in the world. They own National, Alamo, Budget, whatever, all these different things. Well, they relate to the game. Avis and Hertz were the primary players, right? So this family business guy out of St. Louis decides he wants to expand his business, and he's got a plan, but he can't get into any airports, right? They're already taken. So he realizes that, there's a whole heck of a lot of people that need to rent cars that aren't just from the airport. That's when he started hitting up the body shops and the car mechanics. Right? And he's like, no, don't worry. We'll bring the car to you, right? He carved out his niche. He created a strategy that went outside.
Yeah.
And now, of course, Avis and Hertz bow down to Enterprise and Nationals.
Yeah.
But it was because he had a strategy that he believed in. So a lot of times, if you go into market,
and he followed the effort.
He followed the effort.
He didn't waver, man.
He
stayed with it.
Yeah, it's about having a strategy. That's important. Very different than planning. Thinking outside the box obviously is a key component. I will say this though, life's a lot of fun, right? Because you can look at it so many different ways. So as much as I say that, I go back to, if you're not failing, you're not trying. And if you're at the plate, swing the bat.
Sure. Right on. Okay, yeah. So because a lot of people get what's called paralysis by analysis. You can overthink something.
Yes.
You didn't say talk yourself out of it, but you said challenge it. Don't just be a yes man. Find the holes in the idea. Okay. But don't let that be the reason you don't do it, unless, of course, you do the pros, cons, and there's the cons severely outweigh the pros. And even then, I would say it doesn't mean it's dead in the water. But be smart is what I'm hearing. Like, don't just yes man this to death and not do proper, what do they say? It's the 5 Ps, right? Proper planning prevents poor performance. And then it's 6 if you add in piss poor. But anyway, my point is that I think that sometimes people hide behind the data or hide behind strategy or just constantly in this wheel of like overthinking. And at some point you're up to bat, dude. Take the shot. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yep.
And your first shot, you might miss.
Who cares?
Take the shot. This is me taking a shot.
Yeah. That is me taking a shot.
Take a shot. Right.
And you know what?
And you have a great strategy.
Well, and here's the deal, though.
Yeah.
What's exciting about this for both of us is like we're ripe for this. Like this is where
it's the time.
It's the time.
The season.
Yeah. Like I don't even feel like you're taking a shot or I'm taking a shot. I think it's just about continuing to follow through, persevere, and just see it to the end.
Yeah.
What we believe is reality.
1,000%. 1,000%. Not to get mystical, but you're Greek, I'm Italian. I'm going to get in a little bit of the gypsy. we have gypsy origins, dude. So, like, I am a firm believer that out of your mouth comes reality. Spells. Now, not in a hokey dokey, witches kind of way, but I think if you get up every single day and you're like, I'm not good enough, I'm too this, I'm not enough that, it's never going to work. I have people in my personal circle when I told them what I was going to do with the studio specifically, and they didn't mean it maliciously, but the things that I heard was like, well, if it doesn't work out, you can sell the stuff. And it's like, well, that's such a shitty thing to say.
Thanks for the confidence.
Yeah, exactly, right? Now, but I know this person well enough that it wasn't malicious. They're
Right.
just their brain is different than others. Like, oh, okay, well, it's not a massive financial. You're not going to be destitute if it doesn't work out. Is what their brain was saying,
Right.
right? But back to the point is, I think that like when the going gets hard, because it is hard. Everything going to a regular 9 to 5 job is hard. Getting up on time is hard. Like anything's hard. Choose your hard. Number
Mhm.
one. Number two is that even when it's hard, I'm thankful that it's hard because I see stress, especially in starting this business a year ago. I see stress as like, oh, dude, these are growing pains,
Mhm.
positive. I've always had this like more optimistic than pessimistic outlook. And so when when the going gets tough, I go, oh, okay, cool. I either need to pivot, and maybe work. There's a muscle that I'm stretching. I need to stretch this muscle. Or sometimes it means like, ooh, that was a bad idea. No worries. Let's just like, I didn't fully dive into it. And then for this, like going back to goals, my goal isn't that the podcast studio makes money. The marketing agency's paying for this. This is my new band.
Right.
I just don't share it with 4 other people where I have to like,
Right. You're a soloist finally.
I'm just yeah, exactly right. I'm just playing with myself.
There you
You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
and you have a friend here with you.
But sometimes
Yeah.
I invite a guest, right? Like, yeah, exactly. In a couple, I have enough room for it to be 4 guests. But you know what I'm saying? And it's like,
Yeah.
so the risk is very, very low. And my goal isn't money. And I think that like my goal is having really awesome conversations with people that I think that are interesting and learn. And hopefully, I always get something out of it, either a laugh or some piece of education or whatever, or even just sharing a beer with a dude because as a culture, we don't even do this anymore. We're so like this. If you've ever been to a restaurant, everybody's buried in their friggin' phones.
Yes.
You go to a coffee shop, there'd be couples sitting across, and they're just like, what are you guys texting each other? What the hell are you doing?
Right.
So number one, people don't do this. I love this, right?
Mhm.
Number one.
Me
Number
too.
two is it offers an opportunity for anybody that I bring on that like, hey man, you got a thing that you're doing. Hey, here's some content, man. Put it out there. Let people be known, and it's growing.
No,
And it's growing, and it's like I
yeah,
love that it's growing. It's
yeah.
kick ass, dude.
I'm a very introspective person.
Mhm.
I think a lot. I read a lot. I question a lot. I'm always thinking. Okay. Any solution to the world's problems you need, just call me and I'll give them to you. I have them all solved.
Okay.
They're just
Noted.
cataloged.
Noted.
They're just cataloged.
We're gonna give out his email address later for anybody that needs to hit up George.
So someone who needed a lot of growth with emotional intelligence, you talk about being Italian. I'm Greek from, we're just freaking firecrackers, man. I grew up in Tarpon and spent most of my life. It wasn't until I left Tarpon and moved up to Philadelphia that I realized, like, oh, the world isn't like Tarpon.
No, it ain't. It sure ain't. And the whole world isn't Greek.
Well, it is, Justin. You just need a little bit more.
It's all Greek to me,
It's
man.
all Greek.
Yeah, it's all Greek to me.
So exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All Greek to me.
So I
Yep.
mean, well, exactly in the sense of being very emotional about
Right.
everything
and the way we talk.
and life is
And
just
our body language.
everything
I
and
love
the
that we both have
passion.
the arms and the hands and the stomping of the table and the lament.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
You-
very much the same.
You're
cut from-
speaking, just by hand motions. Like
Yeah.
I watch shows on YouTube. There's this Greek chef that goes around the country. It's a great show to watch. I don't, speak Greek very well at all.
Sure.
He just makes these
Yeah,
looks,
exactly,
like,
yeah.
and they say the same, like, oh, funny, yeah. They say like these
Exactly,
same,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
So I tell people that the people at church think I speak Greek fluently just because I have 5 phrases
Yeah.
that go with any conversation that I just repeat over and over. So they think I'm completely engaged, yet I have no clue what the hell they
Yeah,
just said.
just nodding, a lot of hands.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so I had that. I needed the emotional intelligence training, and so because I needed something for literally to follow. I needed a tempo, right? And I figured out that effort is that tempo, right? And you being a band member, I like jam bands, and I was listening to some on the way up here, and I was like, oh, this is a perfect example of effort. The drummer's like the effort. Like as long as that drummer's, even like during the breaks after a long jam, it's a 13-minute jam,
Yeah.
and like but that drummer's still like as long as that, is still that bass is going or there's a hi-hat or
Yeah.
something like that, it's still going on. It isn't over because that tempo is the effort. In following your effort, you're really going introspective. You go stoicism and you find out, who am I? Know thyself, right? You go to that ancient stoicism, really try to retract, understand emotions, separate them, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I use the example, like if you want to see what life is like, just go to the Gulf of Mexico and watch the waves come in, right?
Yeah.
And that's gonna show you what life is. It's up and down and up and down.
Yeah.
But obviously, some days the ups are significantly higher, and some days they're barely even there.
It's a glass out there.
It's a glass.
Yeah. The brand is literally called Follow Your Effort. We've said it a lot. In a world of like highlight reels and social media, and you kind of touched on this earlier, and shortcuts and mass information, what does real effort actually look like now, today?
I don't think it's hard to recognize today.
Yeah.
Because there's so little of it. So when you see
That's
it,
fair.
it shines like
There's
a diamond.
something different about you. We're gonna make you CEO.
Bro,
Yeah.
I like, if you want to make a difference in the world tomorrow, when you walk into the first store to buy something, just be obnoxiously nice to them. Like, oh, good evening, sir. Like, oh, thank you, ma'am. Whatever. Like, just thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, can I please have this or that? And watch the demeanor of people change by the waves, the positive waves you put out there, right? And then acknowledging good work. Oh my gosh, does that make people glow? Like, where I'll just be like, hey, listen, you're very good at your job. Thank you. That made my day. Like to a cashier at Panera.
Sure.
Just recognize people because the effort is freaking obvious.
Yeah.
These days. So what I would say is you can't miss a good effort. So when you see it, let them know, like, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving a rat's tail.
Sure. Yeah. Praise it.
So I'll flip that one on you.
No, I appreciate it. You've led teams in billion-dollar companies. We've mentioned a few of them. But again, it sounds like you're deeply tied to your church, obviously your kids and your family.
I just love the human experience, Justin. Yeah. We're all suffering. At the end of the day, no one knows what the hell we're doing on this burning ball revolving around a fireball at 24,000 miles. Look,
allegedly. No, I'm just, just
exactly in that kind of environment in this world.
Allegedly. Yeah.
It's really just about, honestly, I just want to hug everybody. I know what pain feels like. I know, what other people's pain feels like. At the end of the day, we're all right, and we just need to, we can't escape the realities of life. There is love, there's pain, there's sadness, there's sorrow, there's joy, there's so many things, to feel. And
you're not wrong.
And I just like feeling that with my fellow humans that are just trying to get along, and I prefer to do it with people who care about others as well and just want general, just want love. I do have that hippiness in me. I always, from a little kid, was like, yeah, I like the hippies. I could be a hippie,
All we need is love.
All we need is love.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I mean, I love Jimi Hendrix. I didn't go to the Beatles. I went to Jimi Hendrix straight away. Yeah. And I still to this day say his performance at Woodstock is the greatest frickin' taped performance by any human. I mean, because Beethoven couldn't get recorded, but this is recorded.
Yeah. It's memorialized for sure.
Yeah.
There's that saying is like, what you do with $5 is what you'll do with 5 million. What you do with very little, you're going to do with a lot. When it comes to leadership and integrity and emotional intelligence, at home and in the community, as important or more important than the boardroom?
I think it's all equal because everything's rubbing elbows, and we live in a diversified, in a country that's very diversified with the different ethos, belief systems, and everything like that. Everyone speaks different languages.
Sure.
America is, and that's why I love America so much, is that less about the individual beliefs, more about the commonwealth of the nation. And we just need to work together for the commonwealth, right? We just need to be on the same page. So we just need to be concerned about how we can help others. And being a good leader is about helping others achieve their goals. That's what a leader should be doing, right? They should be encouraging, but not telling them, inspiring them, challenge them. Hey, you tell me the who, what, where, when, why, and how you're doing this, right?
Yeah.
Let me hear it from you. Let me hear your thoughts on this. And a good leader needs to be more invested in the people that they're guiding and hearing more about their ways of and desires of how they want to do it and encourage them to do that. Find assets that you can share with them, experiences you can share with them, connect them with other people who have gone through what they've gone through. That's life sharing. And I guess that's maybe what I think leadership is sharing of success, sharing of love, sharing of life, sharing of experiences overall. Because I was thinking this, Justin, you'll like this on the
Okay.
way up.
Listen, I've liked all of it so far.
Think about this.
Yep.
I don't think any one person could have any idea, like a good idea that they liked, that wouldn't immediately benefit millions of people around the world that are struggling with the same problem. Does that make sense? Are you following what I'm saying?
I am. I think that people. I am following what you're saying, but I'll say this: is that people historically reject what's good for them because of pride, ego, ignorance.
Of course. I think the
You know,
Neanderthal gene's still running
yeah,
amongst
a
us.
thousand reasons, right?
Yeah.
But like, there's just overall resistance. You know, I think that there's a resistance to authority, resistance to. There's this word about fairness and equality. You know, and I believe in equality for sure, but there's nothing fair about life.
Nothing.
Now, there's definitely some people that have it more unfair, depending on the lens in which you're looking at it. But it's unfair all around, dude.
Yeah. 100%.
I didn't have a fairness year. You know, like there are days that were pleasant and there were days that were incredibly unfair, you know? And I understand that that's like relative based on, you know, on the person having the
Their
experience.
perspective, yeah.
Yeah, but you know, it's like when you think about the positive impact that you want follow your effort to have on people or leave behind, like what's the bigger vision? You kind of said love and this. Is that really what's the bigger vision of follow your effort?
Owning yourself, right? Owning yourself and owning your future in as much as you can have an impact on that. Finding out who you really are, one, okay, which is the deconstructing of ourselves. You have to have a guru with you, right? You have to have someone that's walking a Sherpa along the path, that's asking you the right questions and probing you and, you know, pushing you to look at things that you may not even think to look at. But then taking ownership of that and taking all that wisdom to live a more peaceful, joyful life. Because I go into a lot of science, you know that, neurology,
Sure,
and yeah, because I love the scientific aspect of it, the physiological aspect of it. I'm so
what's
entranced by
actually
the
going on? Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's literally things going on inside our heads that
Yeah.
we can actually change through neuroplasticity that could be the derailer. So let's just say, like for me, I have a negative thought, right? Whatever that negative thought is, this negative thought of doubt, this question of my ability to ever succeed that's just been sitting in a seed in the back of my brain all my life for whatever reason it's there, right? That's only as true as if I frickin' believe it.
Sure.
And if all your effort is about, you know, there is the triumvirate. I call it the holy triumvirate
Yeah.
of mind, body, and soul.
Yeah, it's a
Like
trinity.
you can't be, the Holy Trinity. You cannot reach optimum, maximum performance at your job if your soul and your body is frickin' diseased. Okay? No matter how good you are at producing, like you will never be as good as you could if the other two components aren't healthy. So it really is important and that's what we do. We talk about the physiological, scientific unification of the mind, body, and soul that exists. And effort is the center of those three coming together. It's the effort that comes out of that is transitional.
Holy shit, man. That's powerful stuff, George. You're absolutely right. And I think that we all have some kind of trauma or damage, or we definitely
Negative
all have
thoughts,
negative thoughts for sure. Dude, I just came back from Canada.
Yeah.
My wife was born in Toronto. She's
My
lived
wife
in
was too.
Really?
I didn't tell you that?
No.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah, we're both half Canadians.
Right on. She's Canadian because she's a little bit Chinese.
Was she born in China and then
No.
her parents came to Toronto from
No.
China?
Even more than that. His parents. So her dad's Chinese. Her mom's Canadian,
Okay.
Caucasian Canadian, and she's a mutt of some sort. So I think her mom's like Italian. Her dad is, I don't know, French. I don't know. But anyway, so his parents, I think, came over, and he was born in Canada. So she's 2 generations
Right.
Canadian. But anyway, she moved here when she's 2. She's American as American can be. We go up there for a wedding. Have you been to Toronto?
Yeah, yeah, for weddings.
Sounds
yeah.
like sounds like
Family
Dumb
weddings, yeah.
question. Sorry.
No, not really, but yeah.
Cool little town or city. I didn't realize how much freaking corn. There's corn everywhere.
Yeah.
So her grandparents, who we stayed with, about an hour north of Toronto, northeast of Toronto, and then the wedding we went to was another hour and a bit from where they were at. So it was just like they got married on a farm, beautiful, like 140 acres. They owned it, but dude, corn everywhere.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe it.
Yeah, we
Couldn't believe it.
Well, we went to Canada too, and
Yeah.
we drove back from Montreal down through Vermont. It's primarily farmland.
Farmland.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
a lot
flew
of
into
dairy over that way, but
Yeah, we flew into Buffalo and drove up.
yeah,
Not by choice. There was that big strike going on with Air
yeah,
Canada,
Air
which we
Canada
got
was up,
screwed.
yeah.
But anyways, we ended up making it work. But what was nice about that was we were able to hit Niagara Falls with the kids on the way
Yep.
back, and then come across the border. You get to see a lot more, which is like, I don't mind road trips. Road trips are rad. Anyways, the point of me bringing up Canada was you were talking about don't watch the news. So here it comes. Her grandparents, who are lovely, by the way, book cap their day. Morning is the news. End the day with the news. Okay. And I don't know if they're watching I didn't pay attention if they're watching CNN or which,
Right.
not that it matters, right? But like, to your point, they start their day with madness,
Mhm.
worldly madness,
Mhm.
local and worldly insanity, because
Mhm.
it does exist, and end it, and then just wrap up the day.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the news, minus some clips that pop up online every now and again if it's of note, like the horrible crap that happened, the shooting that happened. Like occasionally these stories come up. It's like, fuck.
Yeah, right.
The worst. But anyway,
Yeah, that's.
but I haven't watched the news since I want to say 9/11, dude.
Oh well, God bless you. I still fight
And then when hurricanes come, we're all glued
course.
to, if Dennis,
must
we're all
see
watching.
TV,
Yeah,
man.
my boy Dennis out there just doing God's work. He's our neighbor. Oh, not technically.
Oh.
He's our Palm Harbor neighbor. I don't live
Yeah.
like close to him, but like on his house his neighborhood does the coolest Christmas
Yeah.
lights.
Yeah, he's got
He's
a cult following.
Dude, he's the man.
Because all my friends in Tarpon all
Yeah.
all love him.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
like
dude.
following him, talking to him on Facebook.
This Christmas, because we walk it in his house, like if the weather's nice, he'll have like hot chocolate out there and some stuff for the kids, and like we walk the whole neighborhood. The neighborhood's awesome. And his house, he hooks it up to. He has a relationship with 88.5 MNF, yeah, and so his lights are actually interacting with the Christmas songs that are on the radio. So if you're driving your car through, which some people do, we walk just because it's fun, and. But anyways, my point is watching the news. Yeah, I only watch hurricane coverage and then occasional shenanigans, but I've found that I'm less stressed out, less on edge. It's not about avoiding it, but I think it is about limiting, garbage in, garbage out, right? And so I think our own government coined the phrase, if it bleeds, it leads. And that's their mission.
I don't know if that was the government or if it was.
I think it was like
a newspaper. I don't know where it was, but
I think it was somebody from the government. That was like somebody's.
Well, yeah, but I know the phrase, right? And it's the truest phrase. It's what people want to see, mayhem.
So beautiful Google AI is saying it doesn't have a single source of originator. Somebody, let's see, Joseph Pulitzer.
There you go.
When it came to journalistic practice of prioritizing sensational, violent, or horrific news stories to attract readers. So again, of journalistic origin, we'll say. But yeah, it's dog shit, man. Stay away from that stuff.
Like I said, if it's hitting the fan, you'll find out.
Yeah, you're not gonna miss it. If someone listening, George, is maybe stuck at a crossroads.
Yeah. In
their life, in their career life, in their personal life. maybe they're scared to take a next step or take the leap or take the job or not or quit the job and find it and just
Mm-hmm.
completely, blow up their life and choose a different path. Like what's one truth? I'm sure there are many, but what's one truth that you would tell them to act on today?
And I apologize. I want to make sure I'm understanding. If
Sure.
someone is looking today for because they want to look for something new,
They're at a
they're
crossroads
at a
in their life.
crossroads.
Yeah.
What's okay?
Yeah.
Okay. What this is what it boils down to. Okay, and I'm going to quote some Eddie Vedder here. Okay, we know we're born. We know we're going to die. The in between is mine. So own it. Own your life. If you're at a crossroads, that should be an alarm. That should be a trigger as to to yourself as saying like, listen, man, you don't know how many days you got. This life is hard. It is painful. It is sad, and it's flipping fabulous and awesome. And it's such a blessing, to be given this opportunity. Like the lights could go out any minute, but like this was fun. Okay, there was a lot of fun. I want to keep doing it until the party ends. Right. So figure it out. What do you want, man? What do you want? What do you need? Who are you? Take the time out because people don't take timeouts enough. I always talk about that. I have a whole training on timeouts, right? Like, why do professional coaches get 6 timeouts and a halftime that they get to use every day of their performance? Why the hell am I not walking around with 6 timeouts? Time out, right? So if you're at a crossroads, it's a great opportunity. If you're at a crossroads, that means it's time for a change in your life and it's exciting and reach out for some help from whether it's an individual like myself who does, work with individuals to a father, a brother, a sister, a colleague, a mentor. Talk to someone and use this opportunity. Use it now to take it as this great opportunity to change your life because our life starts now.
Yeah.
Like right now, the rest of our life just began.
Yeah. It starts today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It starts the second, right?
Yeah.
So if you're at that point, don't despair. You are certainly never alone.
Yeah.
Even if you feel dark, even if you feel like you blew it, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. That is the lies we tell ourselves. Okay, that is the emotional lies. We lie to ourselves. Obviously, you know this. We lie to ourselves more than anybody else.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I finally realized I don't look like Brad Pitt. I've been lying to myself for years.
Oh, you're not that far. It is close.
It's like people come up to me like, "Hey, Brad." I'm like, "No, Justin." But thanks for asking. No, you're right. We are
Seize the opportunity.
pathological liars.
Yeah. So if you're feeling lost, that is actually a gift of a body sensing, of your body alerting you that this is a great time to reclaim your life. It's your life. You're the only one who's got it. You're the one who has to die when it's time for you to die. I'm the one who has to die. That's a Jimi Hendrix line. Yeah, I'm the one. Don't worry about me. I'm the one who has to die when it's time for me to die. It sees it, man. So this could be the change of you could have a complete 180 turn to how you feel about life when these opportunities come along.
So don't hide from it. Run to it. Run to the crossroads.
You're lucky. You're aware of it. Think about all the people that are just droning along all day. You're just if you want to see them next morning on your way to work, just look at the cars around you.
Yeah.
Just look at the cars, just people droning along.
Yeah.
If your body's alerting you that there's an issue, congratulations.
Yeah. Welcome to your life.
Yeah.
The first day of the rest of your life.
Yep.
George, man, thank you so much for coming on.
Dude, I had a ball.
It's awesome, right?
I loved it. You're awesome at what you do, and I really
appreciate you, man.
so happy.
Yeah, no, it's good
that
stuff.
we got to know each other.
Cheers, man.
And,
I appreciate that. Yeah,
dude.
If people, for anyone ready to find out more, or take the next step, or follow their effort, where's the best place to find you?
Followyoureffort.com. Start at followyoureffort.com. What you can do is you can obviously there's going to be some free resources and things for you to learn a little bit more about yourself. I also do assessments for individuals that want to kind of like just where am I at? Like what's my basis level? Like do I even have emotional intelligence? A lot of people do innately have it. They don't realize it. Once you do the emotional intelligence assessment, just that in and of itself is so enlightening. it's helpful to anybody.
Sure.
If you want to go on from there and you want to go deeper one-on-one or participate in a course, or all of that's there for you at Follow Your Effort.
Yeah.
But I'm very tangible. I want to be tangible. I never want to be someone that can't be reached. And so, reach out, touch someone, coach at followyoureffort.com. Any questions you got, send them over, and we'll be sure to reach out and help you in any way we can.
Awesome, man. I'm
Yeah.
excited. I'm excited for what you're building.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah,
You
cheers.
too.
And thank you guys for listening, man. We'll catch you on the next one.
God bless America.
Right on.
All right.